to put my eyeballs in, so you have to bear with me. Good evening. From Grammar, first on over, family, friends, veterans, and future soldiers. You know, it's a great honor to be asked to come up and speak with you tonight. But sitting here looking at this gathering, it kind of reminded me of something. I went out and visited my sister-in-law and brother, niece and nephew, and I was out there visiting them. My nephew, little Johnny, you know, he was supposed to be studying for a test. He had a test come Monday. And like most teenagers, what was he doing? He was playing Xbox all weekend. Modern Warfare, Call of Duty, right? So, you know, come Monday, I said, you know what? I've got to go to that classroom, and I got to watch little Johnny take this exam. This is going to be interesting since he didn't study for it. So you go into the classroom, the teacher's standing there, and she decides, you know what? It's the holiday season. I'm going to give 4 of my students the opportunity to answer one question, and I'll give them 100%, and I'll let them go home. So little Johnny says, oh, I got to weigh out now. All right? So the first question is, where is the Statue of Liberty? Mary jumps up and says, it's in New York. So the teacher puts her head down, is writing, and give Mary 100%. All right? The next question is, where was the Declaration of Independence signed? Kathy jumps up and says, Philadelphia. So the teacher bends her head down and is writing Kathy's name, give her 100% to let her go home. All right? Then all of a sudden it's like, where is the Grand Canyon located? All right, so this time Samantha jumps up and says, all right, it's in Arizona. So the teacher bends her head down. When she had her head down, little Johnny decides he's going to disguise his voice. He goes, I wish these women would learn to keep quiet. And the teacher says, who said that? Little Johnny jumped up and said, Tiger Woods. And he ran out the door. So, you know, when I first got asked to come here, you know, I initially jumped at the challenge. And then after I hung up the phone, I realized, man, all these years, I never volunteered for anything. And yet I volunteered for it. So, you know, as I was sitting there thinking about what topic should I discuss, because I asked, I said, is there anything you want me to focus on? You know, especially for the future soldiers. So I said, okay. I thought about it a little bit, and I decided that, you know what? I'm going to talk about the Army values and how it's going to impact you as a new soldier. And I'm going to try to make tonight not too boring for you guys. The one thing that I always strive to emphasize is somebody should learn something new every day. All right? Now, I know a lot of you, especially the veterans, have now seen the Army with this uniform. All right? For those you don't know, that the Army has the green and they have the dress. Well, they combine that. So after 1 October 2012, the Army green uniform will no longer be worn. All right? This uniform right now is going to be the Army service uniform. Now you're going to say, I wonder why the pants are lighter than the coat. All right? Remember how earlier Sergeant Borgia, make sure I pronounce your name correctly, talked about history, traditions. Well, if you think back to the cavalry days, all right, you think about the heavy wool jackets that they wore. All right, well, what happened was the cavalry soldiers would take the jackets off, roll them up in their bedroll, and then it would ride with the white shirt. The pants with the sun would fade. So when they put the coat back on, the coat was darker than the pants. So now you know the rest of the story. All right, so you learned something today. Well, most of you have.